Your hair, Corey.
Crazy.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday, and it is when men gather and how to begin the healing. So, we're going to play a commercial like we normally do. So, get ready, and here we are. All righty, one more. Okay, everybody. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I want to welcome everybody to our Tuesday night show when men are gathered. We are being shot live on YouTube as well as Twitch and Periscope, and as well as on Facebook. So I want to thank you for joining us at this time. So I had wanted to talk about when men get together, how they help themselves, and how developed and other things that goes on in a young man's life or a grown man's life or elder's life as a man. Me being a woman, don't have that experience. So I try to share some enlightenment with other beings like women as myself that trying to understand that are actually single women raising young males to be grown men, to be reliable and responsible and also be able to face the world. So tonight I happen to have my son, and he is a male and he is a man. Um, so let's begin. Let him tell a little bit about himself. Hello, say a little bit about yourself.
My name is Corey James Isaiah Lomax. Um, I graduated high school in 2015. I travel. I mean, we, we move a lot. Um, you can see
We-
I have a dog in the background getting nice and cozy in my bed. And just that's it. I am now 25 years old, trying to navigate and try your best to be an adult as possible. My best
What what does
adulting.
that mean? Being trying to be an adult? I don't understand.
An adult, I mean, trying to be a functioning human being in the society, or trying to be, or putting in an effort.
Like what?
You know, mm, make enough money that you're comfortable with where you're at, or trying to get stuff that makes you happy, or trying to find stuff that makes you happy instead of going about life. What up, Shaka? Get your butt out.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. How do you prepare as a young man to know to be ready for life? What are some tools that you would think is needed as a young man to prepare them for life outside of high school?
Find something that makes you happy and latch onto it.
Like how?
Find something that
Like how
makes
do
you
they
happy and
find
latch
that?
onto it. I'm not you. I can't make that up. That's up to them. I'm not. You gotta. It's your responsibility to find something that makes you happy. You gotta latch onto it.
Okay.
But it's depending on your past, like whatever you did over as a child that made you happy, and then if you still enjoy it, then go for
Okay. So, what about you go to a school, they teach you how to do videos and things, but you want to be in back of the camera. So, what would you suggest they do? How would they pursue that?
it. Okay, I can give you an example. If someone wanted to do a sport, and they only wanted to do that sport, it's something that requires physical. You train for it, correct? You train for that
Right.
physical sport. You go to trainers, you look it up, you add the proper meals, you put in the effort, go to the practices, and make sure if the proper track, let's say football for instance, if you really want to be really good at football, you got to go to the practice, you got to do the lifting, you got to do the proper meal training, you got to do the in and outs, and you also have to go to like the good football colleges that are well known for football, and then you get scouted because they look at that stuff. So if we say someone wanted to be behind the camera, you just gotta film. You gotta film, look up how to film, find out each, find out your niche, find out your niche, find out something that you really enjoy, find out free editing sites, find out master classes. If you want to do it, if you really want to pay for it, you're gonna have to get a job. If you wanna, if you wanna do sports, you gotta focus in on sports, but you also gotta figure out other ways of income. You know, if you want to do college, college is very expensive. College is very expensive. So you gotta find tools if you want to be an editor. You have certain things you have to get for tools. Like if you have a dream job, you gotta find the tools, the know-how, and the will to get the stuff. That's each profession has a tool. Even unmade up professions have tools that you need.
Sounds pretty good.
Everything has a
So,
tool, physical or non-physical. Everything needs a tool. Everything has its proper place, and also you have to find that tool that works for you. You can't just go using a hammer trying to wrench something, or unless you found a special way to use a hammer to wrench something. And then good on you. You
okay,
should probably look into that and get a patent for that. Patent for that
okay, I get you. I get you. So, you find something, you get your niche,
niche.
you work at it, and you're saying, well, you don't necessarily have to go to college.
No,
You
I mean
can
it's up to you.
actually,
If
okay,
your
right,
path leads to college, then go to college. But if you're willing to put the work in, you don't have to go to college. But no one's saying you do or do not have to go to college. It's up to you. It's not the parents. It's you. Because at the end of the day, you're paying that debt, not your parents. If they are paying the debt, then there's a lot of bills that they have to worry about. Because college is very expensive. Because college does not go. You can't just tax. What do they call that tax thing that what they do when you can't pay your taxes anymore? Not
I
tax
mean,
fraud, bankrupt.
yeah,
Bankruptcy.
bankruptcy when you can't
You
pay your
cannot
bills.
bankrupt. You can't call bankruptcy on your school fees. They want their money. If they want their money. Schools want their money, and they're only doing this for you're paying for books and going to a big old building with teachers that can do the you can do the exact same thing on the internet. But that's here nor there. It's up to you. It's your prerogative. Is that correct there? Prerogative?
So, what about finding internships for the things you want? Like, how how do you think people should go about that? Like finding internships
Well,
or
what do you mean?
finding
Clarify
for
that,
the
though.
career they might want to do.
Clarify that. Clarify your thought.
Clarify is like saying they could go out there, don't want the debt, but they need the experience to get in the career they want. So how would they go to find that person that's willing to give them time or even
You take some.
ex-
I'm gonna tell you something. You don't really need a person to show you something. You just gotta do it. Sometimes you just gotta hop in and just hop in the pool. You might drown. You you might drown a little bit. Theoretically, you can't. Don't really just hop in the pool if you don't know how to swim. If you figure out how to swim, then yes. But if you don't, you just gotta fail. Failure is okay. Failure in life is okay. And a lot of parents over the years teach their kids failure is not okay. You shouldn't be comfortable with failure, but failure is a way to learn to be more successful.
I get you to be
You
more
should be
successful. That's
okay with
good.
failing a little bit to show
So
them what to do. So, fail,
go
fail,
ahead,
fail,
say that
get
again.
better. Fail, fail, fail. Fail as much as you can, and then get better. It may get frustrating. You gotta have the mental capacity and the will to do it. Chewing away.
So how would you to give a suggestion of them setting a goal? How do you make your goals? to get
Do
to
it
the
by
finish line?
steps.
What do you do?
Steps. I suggest steps. Like
What
incremental
do you mean
steps.
steps?
Steps. You do not steps. Step one, step two, step three. So when you know where to go mentally, so once you enter that step, you are fine. You can move along with that step.
Um, might have to shut the door. You might have to shut the door because there's an echo.
Try my door.
Let me hold on for 1 second. Somebody says an echo. So what I'm gonna do is
Oh, someone's at the door.
put on my headset. Where did it go? No, I said it's an echo. The Arizona. Arizona. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Trying to get rid of this echo so it's not done too crazily and we can sound a little bit better. That happens sometimes, you know. So, person online.
Why do you do this, Shaka?
Let's see
Bust into my
if
room.
I'm echoing. All right. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. Awesome. 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 Still echo. Let me see. Hello.
Hello.
I don't know why it's an echo. I don't know. It's. I think it's shooting in the house, particularly in the same
It's
house
the
that's shooting
kitchen,
the
Mom.
video. It
I think it
doesn't
might
make
be
a
the
real
kitchen.
difference.
Mom.
I hear
Hello.
you,
Can you
darling.
hear me?
I hear you. I can hear you.
It might be the kitchen.
No, Ron's not on here. It's just me and Corey. So let's get back to yeah. It's an echo, Corey. Even I can hear it in the back. Can you turn? Oh, I know what it is. Your speakers.
My speakers.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
I can hear
You're kind
you.
of lagging a little bit.
All right. So, oh, it's lagging.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Am I lagging?
So no, actually good. So we're saying about setting goals.
Yep. Steps. It's better to process the brain process that way. Steps.
Okay.
If you're
So
more
should they write
detailed, if
these?
you're more detailed in your steps, the more easier it is to reach those goals.
Okay. So should they
So
write it down?
the more details. If you're good at memorizing it, then do it. If you want to write it down, then yes. But it has to come
So
from you, not from anyone else. It has to come from your head.
okay. So don't be forced to be a doctor or a lawyer because your parents want you to be a doctor or lawyer. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
All right. So how would
If
you?
your dream is to walk cross country with the backpack on your back, thumbs out, then yeah, do that. that's life lesson. That's good. That
Hmm.
you could probably figure out making income about that. Kind of like, just kind of like, remind the book of Into the Wild. Not Into the Wild. You ever heard of that book, Into the Wild,
Hmm.
where a kid got out straight out of college and decided to hitchhike,
Oh
and he
no.
passed away in Canada. I
Ooh.
read that in my senior year of high school.
Hmm.
It's a movie,
And
actually. He
so,
got
what
out
did
of
that
college,
make
didn't
you?
want to do the college thing anymore, and so he decided to visit a specific monument in Canada, a monument in Canada, and he traveled, he hitchhiked, and he hasn't heard from his parents since he got out of college, and it's been like a good amount of years. Let me see if I can look it up. The book Into the Wild.
So he went out on his own. So how do you how do you feel about the comfort that he went out of his comfort zone? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Into the Wild. Into the Wild. It's a movie in 2007. Yeah, he went out of his comfort zone. He tried it. So yeah, that is true. He passed away though, but he did what he wanted.
Okay. What he was passionate about on his dime,
Yeah,
right? Right.
yeah. He took
So he
everything that he
relied on
owned,
himself.
a backpack. He didn't have any money. One day for like a couple months he worked at a McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah, worked at a McDonald's. He stopped at the desert in Las Vegas, hid some of his stuff, even though he didn't have a place. He worked at a McDonald's
Wow.
for a couple of years,
So
save up some money.
so what did
Even
that book?
kayaked, even dangerously kayaked in like Grand Canyon
Okay.
to
So
get to
I'm
across the border.
saying for you, how did that affect how you think?
It made me think like if someone is like that passionate and doesn't mind doing it, it made me think everyone's just hopping into a career and they don't know and they're not happy about it. Why should I
Why
hop
do you
into
think
something
that?
and I'm not gonna be happy about it, huh?
Why do you think that
Well,
happens?
people rush. They rush things. People, parents, society. People rush things, and that's why a lot of people are like maybe leading into depression or other things like the mental state. Like when you rush into things, a lot of negative things happen unless you're mentally capable of handling it.
Okay. So how do you prepare yourself to handle the things that are
It
thrown at
depends
you?
on the person. There's no guaranteed way. It depends on the person. It's
Okay.
not no
I'm asking,
definitive way.
how would you
You're
do?
It's like generalizing mental health. You can't generalize it. It is a unique. Did you roll your eyes, Mom? Look like you just rolled your eye.
I did.
And
You
I
got
mean,
it. I did.
it's unique, special. You can't generalize it. You can't do anything about it unless you can navigate the human brain. The human brain is unique. No one has fully understood the human brain, and up to now, no one, no one.
Okay.
If you could
I'm
navigate
saying,
it, then you. What do you say, Mom?
see, I'm talking about you. How would you handle that?
How would I handle what?
Mhm.
Specify.
Your needs, how to find your needs, where
I'm
you're
sorry.
going in life, and how to decide. How do you decide that? How do you figure that out
Your environment,
for you? Not anybody else. We're talking
your
about you.
your pros and cons in your environment. So
Okay.
depending on the situation and the pros and cons in the environment.
Now that's generalizing. I said, for you, how would you handle it? What's the
That's me.
pros?
I roll the environment.
Okay.
The environment, depending on the environment, you have to adapt, kind of adapt to it.
Okay.
So depending on the situation.
So, what do you think about the way the world is going at this present point with the politics and the cash and the like things of assets? How do you think that affects you,
I
or
mean,
does it affect you?
it does. I mean, it's expensive to it's expensive to live anywhere. It's hard to get a job a little bit now, but it is easy to get a job. Kind of. If you have a job, keep it. But it's not about the jobs paying more. It's more about lowering the expenses to live.
Hmm. Okay.
And lowering
Lowering
the
expense.
expenses to live. So like if you decide to like buy some apartments, make you pay for electricity, they make you pay for sewage and heating, right? Or is it no electricity and heating is
Electricity,
get together?
heat,
It's sewage and
water,
electricity.
and water.
And that's sewage. That's sewage, mom. Water and
Mm-mm.
sewage.
Water, sewage. Well, that's all in different states. Yes, your water bill
It,
and
you have
sewage
to
bill
so
can
and
be.
also then on top of that, you have to pay for internet if you're gonna need the internet. No, everyone needs the internet. I mean, you can not everything isn't done on the internet nowadays.
You have a cell
If
phone.
everything internet
Cell
doesn't
phone.
matter if it
Hello?
requires internet. Your 4G. What does that 4G run off of, mom?
The internet, but that's different. You
Oh,
just
whoa! So what did I just say? The what? What did I just say, Mom?
but
Repeat
but
after
you
me.
just said you have to
The
buy a cell phone.
internet. Mom, say it with me. The internet.
Smarty pants. Smarty
The
pants.
internet. The internet. The World Wide Web. www. The World Wide Web. It runs off
Whatever.
the internet. It runs off the internet. Everything runs off the internet. You need
Okay.
the internet to even get on to access to information, to do
What
things. So
about
like,
food?
you can get food off the internet.
No, I mean in life.
That
Like you gotta
also
go to the grocery store.
I'm listing off the things that gets expensive. So electricity, water, the internet, and food. And food is
Okay.
much expensive, very expensive, because depending on the taxes and also the places that you shop at, it doesn't matter if
Hmm.
you have like the cheapest thing, the taxes will get you. If you try to work anywhere, the taxes will get you. Even if you work at a federal job, the taxes will get you. Like I worked I got $1,000. I worked a full thousand, like 40 hours. I got $1,000. Take a nice 200 uh, for your medical, and then the taxes take out again. You don't have to pay taxes, but took out a good decent chunk on your check. You get
Okay.
some people get most people get paid bi-weekly.
Okay. Is
That's in
is that
general.
good or
So
bad?
I mean, I think I think that's been going on since the 19 somethings. Even the banking system and also the information, the way people banking hasn't evolved in quite some time. That's why people are trying to slowly maneuvering onto online banking. I'm not going to say brand names because they're not sponsoring this stream, so not
Okay.
say brands. But other
I
banking
appreciate it.
sites that are kind of well known. They are putting promotions out. People use those because it's free and you also can get your check 2 weeks early or they're yeah no I get it 2 days early or actually
You
1 day.
said 3 weeks early.
No, like
You mean 2 days?
2 days, 2 days,
Okay.
2 days
That's
early,
okay.
not weeks. I'm
Right.
sorry. I will change that. Mine went 2 days. My apologies.
So living's expensive. Um,
Living is very expensive.
so the thing is, how do you feel you can combat that? What is a suggestion?
I
What
um
is a suggestion to combat all of these things that you got going on in your life?
try to save your money.
How? Because you got
Try to.
bills to pay,
Yeah.
you know.
He was just in here chewing on the bone.
I'm just saying it's kind of hard when
Yeah,
you're
it's
trying
difficult.
to
It's very difficult.
get in life. So, what are some
I mean,
suggestions
trying to
that you
be
would say?
like I said, adulting is hard. Adulting is hard. It's very different when you were a kid, right? It's very different.
True, true.
Explain when you were a kid, mom.
Uh, I ain't gonna lie and say that when I was a kid that I used to walk on a walk to the
I mean, I
bus.
understand you had a hard childhood, but like your educational wise, like education wise, and college wise, was it as expensive as now, or was housing as
No,
expensive as now, or
no,
taxes as much as
when
now? Or...
when I went to school, I there was an agricultural farm school.
Is
There
there an
was
agricultural farm now? As you heard, is there
Yeah, they still
agricultural
have
farm?
it. They have it's called Shawmont. They got it when they went to seventh and eighth grade. When I went to my school, elementary school, they had shop. They had home economics.
A lot of
They had
schools don't
business
really have.
courses.
A lot of
When I went to
schools.
high school,
A
we
lot of
had
schools
we
don't really.
graduated. You know what I mean? You get to be executive assistant class because you took the business course, or you took something that you were going to be able to use to be a plumber or something. These are the things that when
Trades.
I went to school that they would use. There were trades that were in the school that they could use. And also when I went to school, I shopped at the farmers market. We
Yeah.
we had a farmers market that we would go to, but we didn't call it a farmers market. It was
I'm
just
not talking
known that the
about. I'm not talking about the extracurriculars. I'm talking about expenses in schools and
no, it
taxes.
wasn't expensive. It was part of
No,
it
I'm
was
not
free.
talking about that, Mom. I'm talking about trying to like housing, like how much rent was when you were a kid, or how much expenses were, like were how much taxes was, not
Well,
extracurriculars.
rent back in the day when I was $350 when I was
And
growing up.
if you were getting paid like nowadays, they raise the pay is like 1,550. Do you think someone could live off of that?
No.
Most definitely. Yeah, kinda. Because usually, if I worked a good 2 weeks out of the day,
Hmm.
I probably get like 600.
Hmm.
600. You would be
Okay.
able to pay rent. Um, you'll be able to pay rent, and then pay me the utilities a little bit, and then you have a little bit of money left over. You can probably scrounge some of that money up and eat for a little bit, and then wait another 2 weeks and add that more. But you have to be very frugal, or you can just go to food banks or something like that. Or
What is that a way of life? Just go
no,
surviving off of food
no,
banks and
no,
eating.
no, no, no. I'm gonna be no. It's not. No.
What would
And
be
no
a
one should ever
suggestion?
should do that. No one in the way life is, everyone's normalizing it, which is shouldn't. No one should be normalizing that, which is a bad thing. And like, there's so much to think about now, which I'm surprised everyone's mental like the mental capacity. Everyone's getting stressed. I get it. I get it. Family, mothers, dads getting stressed about like, how am I gonna live?
Hmm.
How am I gonna do this? Like, how?
So
Plus,
I
like,
have a question for you. Do you think it's scary being a male today in today's time?
um, It varies from male to male. I'm not gonna be like one of those racists. I mean, I'm not racist, but like based on like based off race is yeah, it's kind of hard for certain males, ethnicities, Asians, Hispanics, black people, and like all blacks and so on and so forth. It's a little bit difficult. Not as much as Caucasians, but it is hard. So it does get to a point like like even now, like women do have a difficult time. Most definitely, they are having a very hard time, and they're shining light on things that should have been shining light on years ago. It's like how people are treating them and how like in the 80s, you if a black person got like or a woman got beat, she has to stay with that person. Or not in the 80s, like in back in the day, like she had to stay with that person. Now she has the option and also the ability to combat that person for doing that to her. It's not easier, but there was an option. There's an option.
Okay. So what about
That
men?
men, yes, so. Like men do have to be aware of like they do have to hold people accountable. I believe men should hold other men accountable when they're being shitty human beings. Yes, but also give also men the opportunity to change. They have to base it off their actions because you don't
Hmm.
demonize someone based off them doing it once. Base it off their actions.
Okay.
That goes for everybody, male and female, gender gender fluid or gender whatever, doesn't matter. It goes for all spectrums. Male, female, he, she, they, so on and so forth.
Okay. All right. I'm letting anybody know. If you have any questions, please make them in the comment section, or you can give a call or send a text. Greatly appreciate that. So let's see. Oh, thank you for watching. Okay. All right. Somebody you text me they're watching. They said a great. He said answered very great answer about discrimination. I'm reading. I'm sorry from the comment section. So how?
We can all agree
Uh,
racism is we can all agree racism is very bad.
mhm.
Everyone should be held accountable when they do something bad, even if in the past. And to rectify it now, yes. Racist monuments should not be like someone a racist should not be celebrated. Uh,
Okay. Okay. The comment is: do you believe that there are too many obstacles for the youth these days?
um,
Great question.
there's a lot to think about. Not obstacles, but there's a difference. Some youth can ignore them, and some youth can tackle them. But some money wise, like trying to be financially successfully, yes, yes. But like problem wise, political, I feel that like protesting. I mean, it does something, but it doesn't do enough to the point like where it's super duper effective. It does help in the long run, but for instantaneous help, no. But for the long run, yes. So starting like doing protests and stuff like that does help. Petitions do help. Getting people in the community, like it's being more active, yes. Obstacles for like, let me think. There is financial, environmental. Uh, yes, that too. There's a lot of things. Obstacle for environmental because you know global warming. That's an obstacle. Uh, recycling is a problem. Uh, Pollution is a very big problem. Like,
So,
yeah,
how would you
like
fix some of this?
fix some things.
Yeah, how would you fix this?
It it takes time. You gotta fix it during time. You just gotta, if you really want to care, you gotta start now. So like stuff like um pollution. When did pollution start?
How would you combat pollution? Besides we recycle, is there a quicker way you think that could be better for us to combat the pollution, the harming the earth?
They're not well known. You have to study.
Another question: do you believe that the great deal of the
Youth.
youth are born with abilities and have no directions?
Yes, and but the main reason there is no direction because there's a lot more opportunities or unseen opportunities for you to go. So like there could be an opportunity that no one created yet that someone can take. So like the ability to like do magic tricks. No one thought like being like the next Houdini was gonna be like they thought Houdini was a one-time thing because he can do one trick. But now there's like street magicians that are getting really famous, like David Blaine or what's that other gentleman?
Chris.
The Hispanic gentleman. He was a Hispanic gentleman that did street magic in the
Chris.
'90s and still doing it. He has like YouTube clips all over the place. He's he's still doing really well. He shows like actors magic tricks. And there's another gentleman on YouTube that's doing magic tricks and also like has his own brand of cards and he has his own YouTube channel showing his favorite puzzles and stuff like that. He does like movies with like he not in a movie. He's not like acting, but like he shows up in a cameo in like the new Chris Rock Jigsaw movie. He's
Hmm.
in that for a little bit. So like that's an option. Like a lot of people do have the abilities, but also there's a lot of opportunities to take. So I mean, you can't really choose the wrong one because there's no such thing as the right answer. But they want to choose the answer that fits for them. You know, not not anyone else, but for them. That's what I think a lot of youth thinks about a lot because like what fits for them, what makes them comfortable, what makes them happy, what keeps their noggin not exploding or keeping them from jumping off a building. You know,
So, I
small
have a
dot into
question. You
concrete.
think the youth today are in touch with the spiritual realm a little bit more so than my generation?
Um, I haven't really thought about that much. Um, a little bit here there, but I think a lot of them are focusing on other things that what I see, but I don't. I haven't been focusing on that realm yet, so I can't really give you a definitive answer. So I
What do
can't
you
really
think the
like
youth are focusing on the most that you see?
certain use social media, trying to get famous, trying to get rich. Just like how everyone like millennials and Gen half of millennials and half of Gen Z. You know, I'm a Gen Zer. I am a Gen Zer, but like kind of a millennial a little bit. So like some of them focus on how to get rich. Some people are trying to figure out after getting older, trying to be comfortable.
Okay.
The spiritual, if their comfortability leads to spirituality, then yes. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. So I don't really like don't hear a lot of people talk about it. But there are
Hmm.
some people are believe in God. Some people believe into other things. I haven't seen a lot of people show religion because it's kind of like a touchy topic
Hmm.
or spirituality in general. Cause like because it like people generalize ghosts, which is not really a cool thing, you know. They generalize ghosts. Wait, one moment, mom. One moment. Someone is calling.
All right, away. I get pushed to the side so he can answer his phone. Um, so he gave us some good insight as a young person, which I appreciate very much in getting that information out. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, what is it? I'm sorry. Going to read. Oh, okay. All right. Question was, as soon as he comes back, they want to know how he deals with his faith and things. So that was a question. He's very good. Like sometimes. I wonder. I wonder about my job, but like I said to everybody, your child is your report card sometimes. And sometimes they're not because life journey takes you on a path of understanding, but also the you, because you reproduce yourself as a God, like God produced us. So we're replicas of God's conscious in a way. Um, if you believe in God, I say source or Jehovah, whatever y'all believe in. I believe we're that conscious thought here in this realm that we're we reproduced that reflection of the source. Like we have abilities and being, like I said, I wanted a male perspective on a lot of stuff that I do, and like some things, that I would love to change. That I provided good insight for him as a young man and set a good example and showed him some good examples, but also showed him in my life I had some bad examples, so he got to see that, but he made the judgment for himself. I do not like to place him in that position where I say something negative about that person. I want him to make his own judgment. That's why he's a little bit more of a free spirit than most young people that I've seen or come across. So I try to put it in perspective of what's going on. Really? You making fun of me? Funny. I'm glad you're laughing, young man. So my thing for you, someone was asking about. Let me go back. Read one was
I do,
your.
but also your parent, you did show me that you did judge people on their actions. You did do a very good job on that. Judge people off their actions, not their, not their appearance, which is really, really good. That parents should teach, not prejudge. Just and that also teaches people like to be very observant, to be very picky of the people your circle. That also teaches you that. So
Why be careful of the people in your circle? What difference does it make?
these are the people that you're going to be in contact with. That's why the people in your circle, those are your like your tribe. That's your gang. That's your Like if anyone like you want to get in a scuffle with, that's the people that you want to be with. You know, male, female doesn't matter. If anyone had to start a issue, you'd hop out the car and curb stomp someone for in a second. You know,
Who? What's that?
don't
What
worry
does
about it.
that mean? What did you
Don't
just
worry
say?
about it. Don't worry about it.
I,
Don't worry about
another
it.
terminology. Jesus.
Don't worry about
Joseph and
it.
Mary.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So, with that being said, you find your tribe. So, how do you make a decision about who's in your inner tribe and who
Vibe.
is just on the outside of just
Vibe.
generalization?
It's a
Hmm?
vibe. It's a vibe.
I don't understand.
Vibe. It's a vibe. Like you ever you ever who do you talk to that relaxes you the most that you just keep on continuously talking to? You could just like talk about a lot of things and just chill. And makes you think and not like bored. Or makes you like calm and relaxed, like alright. Oh. Who for you? I'm asking you a question, Mom.
Oh, you're asking me a question?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. Like,
Let
who do
me see.
you makes you like? You can talk about a lot of things, chillax and chit chat and do all these things and like my favorite hobby. Like you've been watching a lot of Korean dramas and you talk to them about all the Korean dramas, like the General and all
It's
that, and your
not
favorite
Korean.
romance books.
It's not Korean.
Korean,
Be quiet.
Korean and Chinese and Japanese and all etc. etc. Like
They're different. Don't stop it.
I'm not
Stop it.
generalizing. I'm not generalizing. I'm just saying. For example, there is a lot. There are Korean dramas, is there not?
Yes, but I don't watch them. I watch my Mandarin dramas. I'm
I
learning
mean,
Mandarin.
you don't know. You ever tried watching a Korean drama, mother?
Yeah, but the words was a little bit hard to understand. But it's on my app
It's
too.
just like watching anime, and you have to watch subtitles. It's just read the subtitles, and you it takes more out of it, but you gotta do what you gotta do if you like the show.
Well, for me, I'm learning the language, so I'll be able to speak it. It's not just about watching and reading the subtitles. I've been
I
doing that
understand.
since I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like the martial art movies back when I was a kid, they used to come on Saturdays, and that was our Saturday. Was the Sunday Kung Fu? Mr. Chang, he was always fighting, and David
Jackie Chan,
Chang, that was his name.
David Chan.
David Chan, he was always fighting back in the day. He did the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
but it was it didn't have subtitles. He would talk and it'd be like he
Delay.
chopped up English.
And delay.
But then as
Whispering.
I got older, I watched a lot of Bollywood. So it was a lot of
I think we
subtitles
got
on
off
that.
topic.
I'm
I
sorry.
think we got off. I think we got off
Well,
topic.
you
What was the
asked me
topic again?
about my thing of people I talk to. I had to
We were talking
clarify.
about tribe. Yeah, I was bringing up an Ozio, then you just went off a different
Okay.
tangent. But all right, stick to the topic, mom. Come on, focus. Come on, me and you. Look at me. Me and your mom.
Be quiet.
Focus.
Be quiet. Okay. Um, you were talking about Mandarin. Who do I talk about? Really, I don't talk to too many about people about that. So right now, just watch it and just speak it by myself. I don't have too many people that are trying to learn Mandarin that I can talk
Then
with.
find someone that can vibe. Like, talk to someone about something that you like. You enjoy it. Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy your
Oh heck
shows?
yeah!
Yeah, like like how I enjoy my mangas and my anime and my I enjoy like it take you have to find someone that vibes with you. I do enjoy video games. I enjoy like a hodgepodge of things, and some people are like hodgepodge of things, and you have to like find something that connects with you. You gotta find someone that like I mess with you. I respect that. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
The nod. You
So
gotta get the nod.
the nod. What's that mean? What's that? I don't understand what that means. Okay,
See,
child.
see.
All right. So I'm going to. So do you think the way you raised? as a child affect you as the young man that you are today?
Yes, it put play some factors.
Okay.
I mean,
Like what?
yeah,
What
some factors.
affected you to put you to help you assist you be the young man that you are?
It's play some factors like words affect some people. Actions do so affect some people. Like, yeah, words and actions. And you did allow me to navigate some things by myself, which some kids do need to do sometimes. You do give opportunity to like you sometimes do give them the space to like give them that space to figure it out.
Hmm.
Not hovering them all over 10 seconds, but you do. Did you leave? What
I'm
happened?
right here.
What'd
So
you do?
I'm not like I'm not a hoverboard mother.
Eh,
I'm
eh.
here.
All right, that's better.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Um, so what is a hoverboard mother?
Like constantly on them about like every little thing. When I was a kid, like you were cool with my friends. You never like if I ever like you were skeptical for a reason. Like you didn't have any non-malarkey for like, oh, don't I trust that kid because blah blah blah. You had to have a reason not to trust that person when I was a kid.
Do you think I was a strict parent?
I mean, no, I mean, do like do as you're told, clean your room, here,
That
there,
never works,
that.
so I don't understand that.
Yeah, I know. I
I'm so
mean,
sorry.
I mean, I mean, it did install understand like the law, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you get the consequences to those actions. Like when I don't do my homework, I have to catch up and I have to struggle and I get an F. And then when I was a kid, I hated getting bad grades. You remember when I was you remember I was like a perfectionist as a kid, wasn't I?
Mhm.
Like when I wrote it, when I hated writing my name all the time.
Mhm.
I just and I sometimes gave up a lot. You just told me to say stop being a perfectionist. It's what it is, what it is. You drilled that over me even still, even to today. That's kind of like one of my hurdles I still have to get over.
Yeah, because nothing is perfect. And
Nothing is
that's the
perfect.
thing
Yeah,
that a
I
lot of
know.
us young people as well as older people think that everything has to be perfect in order for everything to go right, but nothing in life is perfect. And I like your now your information of telling and sharing with others. You have to keep fail until you get success, because if you have no failures, then you don't know what works and what doesn't. So to get successful, but you got to also try, because some people don't try because they're afraid of failure, and also because they're perfect.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that is true.
So it's hard. So I'm
There's
not gonna
lesson
say
in
it's
failure.
easy.
There's lesson in failure.
Say
There's
that
also
again.
the enemy.
Yes, yes, true.
There's lesson in failure. But also, no one wants to be ending up like a meme.
What's a meme?
Decades as a meme. Mom,
What's a
Google a
meme?
meme. Google a meme.
No, just tell me what's a meme
Google
is.
it.
People out there might
Google it.
not know.
Google it.
No,
Google it.
you
Google a
know
meme.
what?
I'm
Remember,
Googling it right now.
hello, hello. You're gonna need me. I don't know how soon it is. Instead of telling me, you're making me Google. Google's not my friend.
Meme.
Now, an element of culture system behavior that may consider to be passed from one individual to another. and non-genetic means. Okay, an element of culture or system of behaviors that are considered to be passed from individuals to another by non-genetic means. So like a joke, and like think of it as like a inside joke that everyone's getting. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So that like a lot of things pop up for memes, like a specific funny picture, like when you fall down and then there's like a word and captions over it. So like it's not slang, mother. It's actual words. You could easily look this stuff up.
Whatever. It's slang
Now
in the
you're
context of
generalizing
which it's
again.
used.
You're generalizing again. Stop generalizing,
Okay.
mom. That's not cool. It's 2020. Do better.
Okay.
2020. Do better.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are winding down, and I want to thank you for joining me on When Men Gather. I hope you will stay tuned to Tuesday's show, and hopefully, we'll get another panel going on, and we'll just keep going and keep going until success. So, thank you so much for Mr. Orby for the comments, Mr. Anthony for the comments, Mr. Joe for the comments. Thank you so much. So I'm going to say good night, everyone. It has been real. I am Dr. G, and this was Corey, and we are from the Food Alchemy Network. Love and light and blessings to all blissfulness awaits you.
Later days.